A red light runner sends two motorcyclists to the hospital. Police say the man was driving northbound on 63rd Avenue when he ran that red light, crashing into the riders there at Peoria Avenue. The driver hid in a home near Cactus and North 59th Avenue and then barricaded himself inside. But the Glendale SWAT team was able to convince him to surrender peacefully. Those two motorcyclists seriously injured, but we are told that they are expected to survive.
Across Arizona, the hunt is on for a man accused of a violent stabbing in Cottonwood. Police say they're searching for 23-year-old Benjamin Pita. He's accused of stabbing a 53-year-old man in the face, neck, and chest, all while that victim was driving and Pita was the passenger in the car. It happened in the area of State Route 260 and Thousand Trails Road. After the stabbing, police say Pita jumped out of the car and ran. The victim was flown to the hospital, listed in serious condition tonight. So if you have any information on this, again, they are searching for him. So please call Cottonwood Police. A safety campaign in the high country. Warning signs are now placed on the US 180 between Flagstaff and Wing Mountain Snow Play area. The drivers face fines if they pull over on the highway to play in that snow. Don't do it. The Coconino County Sheriff's Office says it's too dangerous and deputies are hoping to prevent any crashes.
Tiny homes to bring in more teachers. That's the idea being thrown around in Vail. It's a small district in southern Arizona. They plan to build a village of tiny houses on district land to attract more teachers to the area since it lacks affordable housing. The district says the project is geared towards new young teachers or maybe those just looking to downsize. Officials say they might charge between $500 to $600 for rent, and they hope to build about 24 of these tiny houses. Meantime, Michigan's governor announcing the date for a special election to replace long-serving Representative John Conyers. Conyers resigning earlier this week after allegations of sexual harassment. The primary vote for Conyers' seat happening August 7th, and 2 months later, voters will cast ballots in the general election on November 6th. 3 months later, rather. Conyers endorsed his son to replace him in Congress. Meantime, Governor Doug Ducey expected to make a similar announcement Monday after Representative Trent Franks resigned suddenly. We already knew that Franks was going to resign after a staffer claimed the congressman offered her $5 million to carry his baby as a surrogate. But after Frank's wife was hospitalized yesterday, he moved up that resignation to be effective immediately.
We're just 3 days away from finding out who will win the empty Senate seat in Alabama. After a big rally in Florida last night, President Donald Trump tweeting his support for controversial candidate Roy Moore. He says Democrat Doug Jones would, quote, always vote against what we must do for our country. Moore facing a decline in support after several women have stepped forward accusing him of sexual misconduct when they were teenagers and he was in his 30s. This afternoon, the president paid tribute to the leaders and foot soldiers of the civil rights movement, all at opening ceremonies for a museum in Jackson, Mississippi.
But as ABC's Daria Albinger reports, protesters and boycotts, both of those, overshadowed this event.
That's big stuff. That's big stuff.
President Trump at the opening of two museums in Jackson, the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum, and next to it, the Museum of Mississippi History.
The Civil Rights Museum records the oppression, cruelty, and injustice inflicted on the African American community, the fight to end slavery, to break down Jim Crow, to end segregation, to gain the right to vote, and to achieve the sacred birthright of equality.
The president's appearance controversial. Protesters greeting him outside the museums. Some of the demonstrators still troubled by the president's response to this past summer's Charlottesville white nationalist march and the death of an activist protesting against the hate groups.
I think there's blame on both sides.
Civil rights icon Representative John Lewis of Georgia, who was supposed to be one of the main speakers at the event, boycotting the ceremony and explaining in a tweet that, quote, President Trump's attendance and his hurtful policies are an insult to the people portrayed in the Civil Rights Museum. Other civil rights activists echoing those concerns.
We refuse to allow an individual to steal this wonderful thing of honoring individuals who sacrifice.
NAACP officials say they'll hold their own museum opening celebration at another time. Daria Albinger, ABC News, New York.
Learning what it's like on the front lines. ABC 15 getting a first-hand look at what it takes to be a Valley firefighter.
And a couple of crooks attack an employee as they steal cigarettes. How you can help police bring them to justice.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Davis. I'm an EMT and I've served for over 8 years. On behalf of Luke Air Force Base, we'd like to thank you, Arizona, for supporting us and the U.S. Armed Forces. Happy holidays to you and your families, and a special shout out to my family back in South Carolina. I love you.
All right, everybody, I'm whispering right now because we're at Tolleson Union High School. We're right in the front office with all of these amazing ladies because they all work with and are friends with Miss Bianca, who just won $1,000. So we're gonna go surprise her right now. Let's go, ladies! You just won $1,000! So how do you feel? Were you surprised?
Yes! I've never won anything off the team before!
So what are you gonna do with the money?
I'm gonna treat myself to an Ed Sheeran concert.
I couldn't think of anyone more deserving of that money.
She's very well deserving of this.
Thank you, ABC 15!
Congratulations, Bianca, for winning that $1,000. Will you be our next Money Mondays winner? Just watch ABC 15 mornings on Monday, and from 6 to 7, we'll reveal that secret word of the day. Good luck.
Meantime, police on the lookout for a couple of crooks. First, this guy who robbed a cell phone store last month. Just look at this. He's standing there like any other customer would before pulling out a gun and forcing the cashier to give him cash straight from the register. It happened at the Metro PCS store on North 19th Avenue near Peoria. Police are also looking for these two women behind a robbery turned assault. This video is from back in October at the Circle K near 47th Avenue and Indian School. Now, the two women come into the store and they don't hesitate. They go right behind the counter, start filling their bags with cigarettes. When an employee tries to stop them, they slap and kick him as they make their escape. If you recognize either of these suspects in these crimes, you can remain anonymous by calling 480-WITNESS. A Secret Santa shares holiday cheer with animals in need, how you can spread the love at the shelter and adopt a pup for free.
Plus, nearly 10,000 firefighters trying to contain 6 wildfires burning across Southern California. The small sign of progress for some residents tonight. You know all about the Pay It Forward movement, right? Somebody paying for your coffee at a drive-thru, hoping that you're going to pass it along with that good karma.
Well, here in the Valley, an anonymous donor hopes that his generosity will push you to pay it forward by bringing home a pet for the holidays. ABC 15's Megan Thompson at the Maricopa County Animal Care and Control Center with how this good deed is going to set a lot of dogs free.
Yeah, that donation, more than $5,000. That anonymous donor seeing the shelter's Facebook page, seeing there was a need for these so-called bully breeds to be adopted. So that means more than 300 dogs are going to be able to go home completely for free. And we're joined by Jose Santiago with Maricopa County Animal Care and Control. We're inside one of the cages here. This is what these dogs have to stay in. So small.
Yeah, we have some dogs that have been in something like this for more than 5 months. I mean, look, I can't even stretch my arms across. So yes, they have this inside space, they have the outside space that matches, but this is a really small amount of space for a dog to be spending 1 month, yet alone 4, 5, 6 months in.
And we call them the bully breeds. We hate that term, but these are the pit bulls that are very, very lovable, obviously. This is specifically that donation is going to go to help them.
Yes, we're talking about all those pit bull mixes, those harder to place breeds. On average, we see most of those pit bull breeds stay here for 45 days or more. So the idea was this guy came forward, he gave us this money, and he just said, let's get them home for the holiday. So we're hoping for 154 dogs from our East shelter, 154 dogs from our West shelter, they go home absolutely free.
So that's happening all this weekend. It's kind of first come, first serve on this. So you want to get down here as quickly as you can to be able to do so. They're open until 5 o'clock today, so closed for now, but tomorrow they open right back up again. So get out there and adopt that new pet for the holidays. Reporting in Phoenix, Megan Thompson, ABC 15, Arizona.
All right, we want to see all those dogs get home. So here's the information. If you want to get one of those mixed breeds for free, you can go to either the East or West locations. The addresses are on your screen. They open again at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. ABC 15 out in the community today. I had the chance to host Glendale's hometown Christmas parade. Arizona Cardinals running back David Johnson was there, served as a Grand Marshal for the parade, with Cardinals President Michael Bidwell as honorary Grand Marshal. This year's parade was part of our Operation Santa Claus campaign, gathering donations for people in need here in our community. Of course, I want to thank everybody who showed up and donated too. I was seeing people with Non-perishable food items, clothes, all that stuff. Operation Santa Claus still plenty of time to get involved and donate.
Great day for a parade,
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
It was a little cold this
yeah,
morning,
this
St.
morning it
Patrick.
was.
Perfect little chill for
But then
it.
by the end of the parade at about noon, 12:30, the jacket was on, all that
Story of our
The
lives.
sun was out. I know.
Tank top was, no, not tank top.
Maybe some people.
The first
not
couple
state.
hours of the day have certainly been pretty chilly around here for the last couple of mornings. That's going to be the case going forward, but these daytime highs are just going to get even nicer for us. You know, we're dealing with some pretty nasty weather for the eastern half of the country, too. So just to do a little comparison here, it is pretty snowy and cold in New York City right now. It's 31 there. It's still 70 degrees in Phoenix right now. So we're more than doubling some of those temperatures along the East Coast. So I'm certainly kind of leaning more toward this 70 right here. I'll take that. That's for sure. Here's what our next 8 hours looks like across the Phoenix Valley. We'll be down into the low 60s by about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. Low 50s after midnight tonight. And those temperatures just going to fall down into the upper 40s again to start your day off tomorrow. We're already in the 30s and 40s across the high country. One of the cold spots across the state right now is Winslow at 34. It's 38 for you in Flagstaff. Still picking up a little bit of a breeze across